All right, so we have officially finished The Lady or the Tiger. In my opinion, a fantastic, suspenseful story that hopefully you guys enjoyed. Towards the end of the story, it says this. Now, the point of the story is this. Did the tiger come out of that door, or did the lady? The entire story pivots upon this very question. So, the princess had to have done one of those things. She either picked the tiger or she picked the lady for her lover to marry. So, which one did she choose to have? Just to kind of get your brain moving, I wanted to read you just a little bit from the story that I took out here. Her decision had been indicated in an instant, but it had been made after days and nights of anguished deliberation. She had known she would be asked, she had decided what she would answer, and, without the slightest hesitation, she had moved her hand to the right. How often, in waking hours and in her dreams, she started in wild horror and covered her face with her hands as she thought of her lover opening the door, on the other side of which waited the cruel fangs of the tiger. So I did skip around a little bit, so then it talks just a little bit more, and then it says, would it not be better for him to die at once and go to wait for her in the blessed regions of semi-barbaric futurity? And yet, that awful tiger, those shrieks and that blood. So the princess feels like she had quite the choice to make. And maybe you feel like it shouldn't have been that hard of a choice, and maybe she should have just done what you consider to be the right thing. But putting yourself out of the situation entirely, what did she do? There could only be one correct answer, right? I think it's time we had a debate. That's right, we're going to have a classroom debate over this exact question. Who can find the correct answer? Here is what the debates look like. Moving that just slightly. I'm going to send this to you. Feel free to read this introduction if you would like to. The debate format. So let's assume that class starts at 10 o'clock. It might not. I'm going to wait until 10:06 for you guys to log in. I'm then going to take approximately 3 minutes to review the debate, what's happening, the form, the expectations, and the scoring. And then I'm going to place you into groups, probably randomly. I might see if there's close to a 50-50 divide. I don't know. I haven't decided. That is to be announced. I will then lock the session. So please make sure you are there quickly, because this is really important and I don't want there to be any distractions whatsoever. I will then give you 5 minutes to prepare your opening statement, which is here. There's two sides, the pro and the con, sometimes called the affirmative and the negative. The pro just says, we agree with the statement above. The con says we disagree with the statement above. You'll see what that looks like. So they both get 5 minutes to give their introductory points. It is worth mentioning that the pro is only talking about the pro. They're not talking about the con's position, and vice versa. The con is only talking about their side. They're not talking about the pro's position just yet. After you hear each other's introductions, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to work on your rebuttal, and then you'll have 4 minutes to do so. So the pro is going to stand up and talk about con's points, and they're going to do their best to refute them. Notice no new points can be added. You can't say, oh, and by the way, we forgot to mention this. All new points have to be given up here. The con side then gets to talk about the pros points and why they think that they're incorrect or not very, not strong, not relevant, whatever. No new points can be. So after you hear your opponent's rebuttal of your points, you get 3 minutes to prepare for a 2-minute speech on why the other person's rebuttals don't really apply. So you get to respond to those rebuttals without bringing up any new points at all. I'll then give you 5 more minutes to prepare your closing statements. Pro side gets to reiterate their position and make any kind of closing statements or remarks that they would like to. Again, no new points. And con gets to do the same thing. 3 minutes for me to decide who the winner is based on the scoring system I'll show you here in just a few minutes, and then I will announce the winner. I wanted to give you a little bit of an example here, just to make it clear. So the topic is dogs are better pets than cats. So again, the pro is saying yes, they are. The con is saying no, they're not. So the pro gets to establish their main points here. Only dogs can be trained, dogs are more affectionate, and dogs can defend your home. Con gets to give their 3 main points. It can be more than 3, by the way. I'm not going to restrict you to a number here. I just use 3 because it's easy. So cats are extremely clean animals. The fur is extremely soft, and they purr. And cats can catch and kill the pests in your home. 5-minute work period. A pro now gets to give a rebuttal to con's points. So here is con's points, and here's the rebuttal. So cats are extremely clean, but litter boxes are nasty and they smell so bad. Dogs at least are nice enough to take it outside. Cat's fur is extremely soft and they purr, but dog's fur can be just as soft and they don't need to purr. A dog can show you affection with their entire body. Cats catch and kill pests, well, so can dogs. Moles, for example, or anything you don't want in your backyard, a dog can help you out with that. After this 4 minutes, it's con's turn to talk about pros points, which were these. Only dogs can be trained? Well, actually, that is false. Cats can be trained too, and it looks even cooler when it happens because people aren't expecting it. Dogs are more affectionate? Well, that's also false. Cats can be very affectionate, and they do it because they want to, not because of some weird sense of pack obligation. You say the dogs can defend your house, but if you want a safe house, get an alarm system and lock your doors. You should never rely on an animal to keep you or your family safe. 3-minute work period where you get to respond to your opponent's rebuttals. So, pro says, I said only dogs can be trained. You say that cats can be trained too. But why then are there no police cats, or fire cats, or seeing eye cats? I said dogs are more affectionate. You said that cats are also affectionate, and they do it because they want to, not because of pack obligation. But even if both animals can be affectionate, whenever a dog is done being petted, he just walks away. When a cat is done being petted, it will scratch you. The affectionate dog knows not to bite the hand that feeds it, and the affectionate cat knows that scratching you will make you go away. I said that dogs can defend your home. You told me to lock my doors. But a burglar might know that it can take 5 to 10 minutes for the cops to show up to your house, maybe even more than that. Plenty of time to steal your stuff. However, a burglar also knows that it only takes about 2 seconds to be bitten by a dog trying to defend those it loves. So, the dog just being there is a huge deterrent. And that's all of that time. So they're done. And then Con gets to respond to these rebuttals. So, cats are clean, litter boxes are nasty, dogs at least take it outside. Yeah, they're nice enough to take it outside like 10 to 15 times a day, which is a huge hassle and a huge waste of time. Litter boxes are actually not all that gross, and you only have to clean them every few days. Cats are extremely soft and they purr. You said dogs can show affection with their whole body, but nothing is as satisfying as the feel of a purring cat. Dogs have that constant goofy grin on their face, so how do you even know if you're doing anything to make them happy? Instead of just rolling over to show their alpha its belly, a cat actually makes a whole new sound just to say I love you. I said that cats can catch and kill pests. You said dogs can catch moles. But a mole in your backyard is not going to bite a baby and give it rabies. Rats are a serious health issue that dogs completely ignore. So, both sides now get a 5-minute working period to prepare a 2-minute summary of their statements, which I didn't bother doing. And then points are counted. So, how are points given? I decided that new speakers are very important, so each new speaker is awarded 1 point for their team, but they must say something meaningful. It can't just be, I agree. I'm not going to give you a point for that. You have to bring up a point, you have to counter a point, you have to reiterate a point, something like that. In your main argument, which, scrolling up here, are these are your main arguments. You get 2 points for an opinionated argument. Opinionated is something like oranges are delicious. And you get 5 points for a factual or an evidence-based argument. And that would be something like, according to our text, oranges are rich in vitamin C. Right? One's opinionated, one is factual. So facts are worth more than opinions in debate. Now, when it comes to rebutting and countering someone else's rebuttal, here's how the points break down. If you attempt a rebuttal, you automatically get a point, even if it's not necessarily a solid rebuttal, and even if it doesn't really counteract their point. I'll give you a point just for trying. That's something like, they say cats can be trained, but I've never seen it. That's not really a rebuttal, and it doesn't take away from their fact, because cats can be trained, and having never seen it doesn't change that. So that's a 1-pointer. Now, if you give a decent rebuttal without evidence, 2 points. That's something like, I know the character said X, whatever that is, but I'm pretty sure he was just being sarcastic. Again, pretty sure is opinionated, not evidence. With evidence is going to get you 5 points. Actually, when the character said X, they were being sarcastic. In fact, the text says that she said X while rolling her eyes and scoffing. Pretty good indicator. Also, a 5-point bonus will be given to whichever side I feel has a more persuasive closing statement. So who can tie everything together and convince me the best? So this is completely up to me. There are just a few rules. Respect your opponent and their stance at all times. Never use any kind of words like stupid, ridiculous, or silly. Whenever the timer goes off, you must be finished speaking. In fact, I might just instantly turn off a microphone. A new point can only be made in the introduction, as I mentioned. And please, please, please be a leader within your group without being demanding or plowing over your peers. This is where I'm going to keep score on. I have speakers over here, I have your points, and I have your rebuttals. So, before class, I want you to reread the story, look for evidence of both, and be ready to defend either case. This is the debate. Those are the sides. Thank you, and good luck.